Good morning, everybody. So I slept all right last night. The rain started sometime in the early hours of the morning, and it's been continuing on. So I'm in the vestibule of my tent, and I just cooked my breakfast, blueberry walnut oats, and I got some pre-workout, albeit I'm about out of water, so it's a good thing I got the stream right next to me. Yeah, it's going to be a dreary day because the forecast seems to be holding true. But I got mostly everything packed up. I'm just going to take down my tent and the tarp. I'm glad I brought the rain fly from my hammock because it did keep mostly everything dry. I don't know if you've ever slept in a tent in the rain before, but if you get a really consistent rain, then the sides, the bathtub floor, everything just seems to get wet and it just seems to get in the tent. So anyway, I do have the rain fly of my tent up so I could use the vestibule like that, so it's sticking out a little bit past the tarp, which is right there, so it's getting wet, but that's okay because I'm going to shake it out. And yeah, so anyway, I'll be talking to you guys a little bit later. Sorry I haven't been doing as much filming on account of getting here so late and getting off on the trail a little bit later in the morning because it's after 7 now. So alright, I'll let you see my setup one last time before I pack it up while it's daylight. Rains are off and on. It's got some slack there on the lines. It must have happened during the night. Could be better setup. Probably do something better tonight if it's still raining. But, I mean, it kept my tent for the most part is dry except for that one side where the vestibule is. So all right, it is 8:30. I'm finally leaving camp. I'm not going to forget my trekking poles and heading uphill. All right, this was just up the hill from my campsite. I think it's called Martins Creek Falls. It is a beauty. Make up for the one I couldn't really show you last night on account of it being dark. I got what I could, but it looks really good with the rain swelling the creek. There's a nice looking waterfall. So back there at the waterfall, it was a little confusing. All Trails was giving me warnings I was off trail because I'm following the full Bartram Trail on All Trails, which is actually pre-recorded on there, so you can follow the red trail. And Gaia doesn't have that. Gaia does show the Bartram Trail, but when you get up to the road walk, you kind of lose it and you just follow the names of the roads. So anyway, the trail on the right, once I left camp, I started going uphill right before the waterfall. That had yellow blazes on the trees, but there were only 2. This one has had numerous yellow blazes going up the hill on the left, right from the broad open campsite by the creek, right before the waterfall. So just bear that in mind. I ever tell you guys how much I love the rain? Not really. But how's that saying go? A bad day on trail is better than a good day at work. progress. Signs on the rocks for this trail are pretty neat. Nice camping area. See, it's been dreary all day. I don't think I'm gonna have any views at Raven Bald with all this fog and rain that's settled in. All right, 12 miles from where I camped on Martin Creek, and I finally made it to Raven Bald. Look how the sign says 14 miles to Warwoman Dell over here. Over there it says 15 miles. I would have it at about 15 miles on my GPS. All right, that looks like an easy fire tower to climb. All right, here's the view from the top of Raven Bald. Elevation 4695, second tallest mountain in Georgia. I didn't think there'd be any views, but still awesome to be here. I like this fire tower. Kind of reminds me of Bald on the North Carolina side. That's all on the AT though. You won't be able to get there from the Bartram Trail. It kind of reminds me of the Smokies after the rain. The mist rising from the valleys. I didn't get a view at Raven Bald, but at least I get something here. Real close to North Carolina now. So I've reached Hale Ridge Road. Gotta bear right, and you'll see the trail on the left up ahead. All right, according to my GPS, I've just entered North Carolina, and there's no sign, no welcome sign, and we'll just call that fallen tree the borderline. So I have the Georgia section of the Bartram Trail at 38 miles, almost exactly. Here in North Carolina, the blazes on the Bartram Trail are white. All right, I finally reached home for the night. It's after 7:30, did 19 miles today, and pretty beat. But yeah, the trail guide I'm following online, it's called trailquest.net for the Bartram Trail. It is pretty accurate because it told me there was a great campsite here, and sure enough, there is, right by the water. So anyway, my headlamp died, so I had to use the light from my phone to walk the trail in the dark. So that wasn't too fun, but I made it, and no worse for wear. So I'm gonna set up here and I'll get back to you guys. All right, camp is set up. I'm gonna eat dinner, and I wanna show you guys something here if I can get it. See how bright the stars are? Let me turn this off, maybe this will help. Yeah, it's a really good night for stargazing. Beautiful. Clear night skies after all that rain. I think I should sleep well. All right, folks, it's time for me to go to sleep. Sorry I didn't film much of my camp tonight. Last 2 nights since I started this trail, I've got to camp well after dark, so can't really film much like I'd like to, but in the coming days I plan on changing that and getting to camp a little earlier while the sunlight is still out, and I'll be be sure to share with you everything I can. Thanks.